Hello, this is Soluxya. Uh, as you can see, we're starting up again. I want to finish the Umineko franchise. I guess I should tell the reason why I've been absent for over a year as of now. Mostly it was because I was battling a serious case of anxiety, and I just couldn't record anything. I felt like I was just not that not in a good emotional spot, and I was a complete wreck. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but I feel better now after all the stuff of after most of the pandemic has passed, and now I guess I feel in a better place to continue the series and to maybe start a few series after I finish this one. So I am sorry that I've been absent, and uh, I hope uh, I hope you enjoy my following playthrough, that so that I can finish everything and get this story under my belt. Then we're starting with episode 7. The last episode over a year ago ended with Bernkastel meeting the witch Feathering, if I remember correctly. And then after Feathering went to sleep, Bernkastel took control of the story. And so we'll see another game being played. But this time the game master is going to be Bernkastel. Before we start, I guess I should review the anime. I've watched not the anime of Umineko, but the recent Higurashi anime, Sotu. Of course, it ended a year ago, and my thoughts about it. I thought the ending was a little bit weak. I thought that the return to normal wasn't that good as an ending, but well, I've come to peace with it, and I do want to return to the visual novel using the patch, because I only played with like an old version when I played Higurashi back in 2013, I think. I don't know. I don't remember. But I have it on Steam, and I can install the patch, I think. So maybe I'll do a return to Higurashi once this series is over. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, let's start with episode 7. Requiem of the Golden Witch. Good morning. Today's the day of the funeral for the Golden Witch and her game. Days of the game have now ended, and fond memories are all that remain. Here, the cold hard truth will be revealed, and the game will meet its death. There's a bit of difficulty. I do hope that I'll need to familiarize myself with the characters again. This is a fresh install of the. This is a fresh install of the game, so I've lost my whole save files. I had to get it from my cloud management, because all my files were deleted when I got a virus. So yeah, that's how it rolls, I guess. And what else? Yeah, I have to familiarize myself with the characters again. But since I have I do have a good memory, so I've not forgotten the major plot points. Maybe the character names. I'm really bad at remembering character names after a while, but I do remember their faces and what they represent in the story. So don't worry about that.
灰は灰に、塵は塵に、幻は幻に、そして夢は夢に。夢とは寄せては返す波間の真砂に描くもの。それは波が寄せるたびに真っ白に戻ってしまう儚きもの。だから心なき人はそれを描くことを無駄なことだと嘲笑うだろう。しかしもう彼女の描いた夢を消す波は二度と訪れない。彼女が最後に描いた美しき夢はもう永遠に消えることはない。さあさあ思い浮かべてごらんなさい。
This is, I think, this is the witch Virgilia, right? The old lady witch, right?
それは暖かき春の日の柔らかき午後の日差しがそのまま陰ることを忘れたかのよう。それはとてもとても素敵なことなのだから。あなたの最後の夢の立ち会い人、プブリウス・ワルギリア・マロ。
The suspects were gathered in a room and several inquisitors of heresy were reporting on the results of their investigation. Is this that Ronaldi? No, it's Dolonor. Their uniforms closely resembled those of the Eisenjungfrau, but they were slightly different. Also different were the badges, signifying their department. Oh, something different, I guess. Kemp saw someone clapping their hands once. It was the lead female inquisitor. She was announcing that all the reasoning had been completed.
近景以上にて明々白々以上の推理からあなたのアリバイが存在しないことの証明を終えるものなりや。
The other end of her pointing finger was a quivering maid with frightened eyes. Shannon? Her name was... No, that's not important. What matters now is that she couldn't enter the closed room study where the victim was found whenever she pleased. And furthermore, her claimed alibi for the time the crime had been proven to contradict the facts. Shaking, the maid tried to continue her illogical pleading, but all her statements had already been seen through.
以上にてフーダニット、ハウダニットの証明をあなたが犯人である事実は揺るがぬものと知りたまえ。
そんなどうして私が敬愛する旦那様を殺さねばならないのですか。動機がありません。理由がありません。
誰がいかにして犯したか、それのみが立証できれば十分であると知りたまえ。近景謹んで申し上げる。ミステリーに動機は不要であると知りたま
え。I don't think so. The Inquisitor spoke coldly. Normally, the motive and the way the crime was done are the most important parts. After finishing her witch's prayer, Virgilia stepped back from the coffin, which lay on the altar, bedecked with many beautiful roses. In her place, Battler moved to the front of the coffin, wearing his territory lord's cape. Oh yeah, this guy became like the lord of the place, right, in the 6th episode. Though the cape was supposedly to represent dignity and majesty, it somehow made Battler look smaller. Oh, Battler. Oh, how I missed you. Battler held a book with a majestic binding in his hand. It was a game record. had just been written, or perhaps it was a tale, a game, or else a fragment. Written in it was the dream that would be more enjoyable for her than any other. Battler pressed it against his forehead and contemplated for some time. Then he kissed it and laid it gently in the coffin. It rested upon her chest. She looked like a little girl clutching her favorite stuffed animal as she drifted off to sleep.
これは俺からお前に捧げる唯一の物語だ。
This tale will be shut up with you in your coffin for all eternity. So no one will be able to read it except for you, there in your coffin.
猫箱に閉ざされた唯一不変不可侵の永遠の物語。
だから誰にも物語を汚せない。否定できない。反論できない。俺とこいつだけの二人だけの唯一絶対の真実。
Is this like...
クソ誰が
A man dashed through the town wrapped in twilight. The daytime hustle and bustle of this beautiful village, which combined the traditional with the orderly of the classic style of the last century, now seemed like a mere dream. The orange setting sun was already hidden behind the clock tower, and the narrow alleyways were rapidly descending into darkness. As the gas lights began to turn on, they only made the darkness of the twilight stand out all the more. The man sprinted. There was no time. He had to hurry. He had several experiments to do and things he has to check. And it all had taken longer than he expected.
確かにそうだろうな。ミステリーはフーダニットとハウダニットさえあれば十分だ。
The mystery genre, the motive, or the whodunit is given the lowest priority. To have a murder, you need to have a culprit, and he needs to commit a crime. Motive isn't required for that. So it's usually the most ignored element. In fact, these days, there are even some who call it unnecessary.
ホワイダニットだけで犯人が決まっちまったら、そりゃミステリーじゃねえ。プロパガンダだ。だがな。だからって動機ってやつを、心ってやつをないがしろにしちゃいけねえんだ。
So cutting back and forth between this new scene and Battler and
私たちは彼女の最後の眠りがどれほど楽しいものであるかを知っています。だから何人たりとも彼女の眠りを妨げることはできないでしょう。
Is this like a funeral for episode 4 Beatrice?
楽しい夢に微笑むこの眠りを妨げられるものなどいるわけもないのですから。
Didn't you marry Beatrice the last episode? What the hell happened?
さあ、私たちはもう立ち去りましょう。私たちが賑やかにしていたら彼女の夢を眠りを覚ましてしまいますよ。
そうだな。寝ている子には毛布をかけて部屋を暗くして静かに立ち去るのが決まりってもんだ。
Yeah, it's a fucking funeral, right? After looking at the coffin one last time, Virginia turned around quietly. Battler did the same, but then he stopped and turned to face the rose-covered altar. Battler offered up his final words within his heart. As long as those words didn't leave his mouth, no one would be able to know what they were. However, those words of the heart caused Battler's expression to change several times. At first, he frowned sadly, then his face clouded with remorse, and then changed to a bitter, exasperated smile. It flashed through several varied expressions. Then the final expression that crossed his face was surprisingly a gentle smile. Something rose to Battler's lips, or he bit it back down. There could suddenly be no words to describe the many feelings he kept in his chest. So, saying anything aloud would probably be crude. Battler understood this, and stopped himself from speaking once more with a wry smile.
ありがとう。
お礼を言われるようなことは何も。
あとを頼む。
After seeing Virgilio nod back at him, Battler turned away from the altar one more time and left the chapel. Virgilio also disappeared, and with that, all disturbances that might have interrupted her blissful sleep had vanished. The Inquisitors of Heresy listened with calm, no scornful gazes. They listened to the frantic babbling of the maid accused of murdering her master. However, nothing she said could bury the fault in her own alibi. They were all mere emotional arguments. I loved and respect the master so much. I had no motive for killing him. No matter how much she spoke, it only made her look more and more like the floundering true culprit, struggling pathetically. Requirements for the whodunit and howdunit had been satisfied. As for the whydunit, the motive, the heart, no matter how much she spoke of the gratitude for her master, had graciously given her a job when she's been led off the wayside of various misfortunes. It didn't help her case in the slightest in the mystery genre. Therefore, her motive did not matter. All that could be just squeezed out of the culprit afterwards. An Inquisitor of Heresy took on the role of parchment and held it forth, cutting off the maid's sobs and protests.
あなたがいかにして犯行に及んだか。その告発は大法院にて受理され、あなたの逮捕を許可したことを知りたまえ。これがあなたの逮捕状なりや。動機など不要、犯人の特定には一切不要のものと知りたまえ。その上で謹んで申し上げる。我らが SSVD は罪を認めぬ犯罪者に真実を告白させる強制的手段を持つと知りたまえ。
SSVD.
我らが異端審問官が正義にて祝福された審問具にてあなたの志士を絞り上げて、そこより赤き真実を絞り出してみせることを申し上げたてます。
Oh, red truth, blue truth. Oh, I'm remembering
自
now.
白すらも不要。補佐官一同、そのメイドを逮捕したてまつれ。
私じゃないです。私は旦那様を殺したりなんかしません。
What the hell?
やめな。
Oh, it's this guy. Same voice actor. Is this?
そのメイドは犯人じゃね
Yeah, I don't remember this guy. A man kicked the door open, and the Inquisitors were all shocked at the sight of him. He wasn't the opening, right? He wasn't the opening.
なぜあなたがここにいるものなり。この事件はもうあなたの担当ではないと知りたまえ。
うるせえ。アリバイがない奴を一人見つけたらそいつが犯人なのか。犯行には動機が、心がいらねえってのか。犯行はな、人が犯すんだよ。
What's this, like, vampire killer type of guy? Oh my god, the code and everything.
心がねえ事件なんて存在しねえ。心を無視した推理なんさ、俺は絶対に認めねえ。
He's similar to
あなたの
Battler.
ホワイダニット至上主義の主張には辟易するものと知りたまえ。ホワイダニットなど無用。審問すればかようなものを容易に絞り出せるものなりや。大法院もその女が犯人であることを認めたものなり。
大法院はそのメイド以外の全員にアリバイがあるならきっとそうなんだろうという、お前の独りよがりを鵜呑みにしただけだ。他の被疑者のアリバイが崩れれば白紙に戻る。他の連中のアリバイも無様なもんじゃないか。大広間の時計の音は正確に正午を刻んだか。勝手口の犬は全員に吠えるのか。確かにお前はメイドのアリバイの偽証を崩した。それは見事なもんさ。だがそれで終わりなのか。メイドに犯行が可能でも それを行う動機はあるのか、他の人間のアリバイは完璧なのか、他にもアリバイを偽証している人間がいる。それを探すことを怠るな。犠牲者に怨恨は、金銭関係でトラブルは、動機を捨てるな、心を捨てるな。動機なんて後付けでどうでもいいなんて、そんな乾ききったミステリーごっこは卒業しちまいな。
メイドが犯人でないなら、なぜに彼女はアリバイを偽証するものなりや。そしてそれを問うことも茶番。審問し、赤き真実を絞り出し、犯行時刻の全てを赤吉で署名させるだけで良いものと知りたまえ。
ああ、そうだろうな。お得意の拷問で全てを神の目線から客観的に赤裸々に絞り出せばいいさ。
I thought the red truth had to be... I guess.
言っておく。心のねえミステリーと推理のやり方はな、俺が絶対に認めね
すでに本事件は本館に継承されたるものなり、ここに命令書もあるものなり。さあ補佐官一同、構うことはなしと知りたまえ。そのメイドの逮捕を命じるものなりや。
When she gave this order, her subordinates hesitated, looking back and forth between their superior and that man.
え。させねえよ。
Oh god, he's cool. Okay, he's
本当
cool.
の犯人は他にいる。動機から推理可能だ。アリバイトリックなんざ古典通り。心を忘れるんじゃねえ。
心など不要なり。犯行可能な疑わしき人物を導き出し、審問して赤き真実を絞り出せばいい。万一犯人でなかったなら、別の疑わしい容疑者を審問にかければいいだけなりや。
そんなのは推理じゃね
退きたまえ。その女を逮捕するものなりや。そのメイドが犯人であると知りたまえ。
Oh.
使用人が犯人であることを禁ず。
Oh. The words of Farah blasted away the aides trying to arrest the maid.
バンダイン20足、第11足。このメイドを拷問したかったら、第二夫人とその愛人のアリバイをもう一度洗いな。
その二人には犯行時刻の明白なアリバイが。
あの程度でアリバイかよ。ボンクラのお前に分かるように説明。
Is this guy like a stand-in for... He's not file.
主席を名乗りたかったら、その程度の捜査と推理を見せてみな。それまでこのメイドへの逮捕状は俺が預かるぜ。
ならあなたにそのメイドが犯行を犯さなかったことが証明できるなりや。犯行時刻に彼女が台所を離れていたことは明らかと知りたまえ。彼女は犯行時刻にどこで何を。その女にも本館にもあなたにも誰にも証明は不可能なりや。なればこそ審問の拷問具で赤き真実を絞り出すほかなきなり。
God, you're annoying.
真犯人からは血ヘドでも真実でも好きなだけ絞り出してやれ。だがな、真犯人じゃねえ人間へはいかなる審問も拷問も許さね
え。だからこそあなたは甘いと批判されるものなり。疑わしきは全て審問。それが我ら異端審問官の魔女裁判であると知りたまえ。
Witch trials.
そうだな。俺たちは邪悪な魔女を撃つ。それが商売さ。だが万一にも市民を傷つけてはならない。疑ってはならない。人間は誰しも自分だけの真実を持つ。それは罪を犯した時にのみ暴かれる。俺たちにはそれを暴く資格が与えられている。だがな、ねえんだよ。
何が。
罪なき人間の罪なき真実を暴く資格なんざ、たとえ神様にだって与えられちゃいねえんだよ。
Maid finally realized he was trying to protect her.
どちら様か存じませんが、ありがとうございます。私本当に犯人じゃないん
んなことは知ってる。お前の彼氏は全てを投げ出してお前のためにアリバイを証言するとよ。感謝しとけ。あの若造は名誉も肩書きもお前に比べたら大したもんじゃねえと言いやがったぜ。
そんなことをしたらあの人は。
それには及ばねえ。恋人たちの秘め事を暴くのは三流雑誌の仕事だ。ミステリーじゃねえ。俺は、心のない推理は絶対に許さね
え。Then, for the first time, the man's sullen expression relaxed. He patted the maid's head roughly.
きっと彼氏と幸せになりやがれ。だが勤務中に合いびきするのはあまり褒められねえな。時々にしとくんだな。
ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。
These words were heard only by the two of them. The man had learned of her innocence, which could only be proven by exposing the secrets of a pair of young lovers, and he had rushed about in search of a solution, resentful of the arrogance of those trying to expose this by forcible means.
推理はな、犯人を作ることでもその心が大事なんだ。
Oh.
探偵気取るなら心を忘れるんじゃねえ。そいつを忘れたら俺たちはただの知的蹂躙者だ。
Oh. Erika, hey.
それを忘れるな。
What happened to Erika, though? When the man spoke, the Inquisitors no longer had any way to argue back. This man's name is Will. And yet, that's not what everyone used to call him. Head Inquisitor of Heresy of the SSVD, the 8th District Repentance and Enforcement Agency of the Great Court of Heaven. Wizard Hernan writes,
これがお前らへの最後の引き継ぎだ。
Willard, Hunting... What's the name of the guy? Willard Huntington, writes... I have a book here. It's the Philo collection, right? The detective.
魔術師狩りのライトの名を継ぐなら忘れるな。
I think he was before the... Oh man, he's an old writer.
絶対だ。
But I guess we have Knox as well, right? Oh, yeah, but he's not the stand-in for Philo, I don't think. Philo is way too more eccentric for that. Oh, the new opening. Oh, there's Beatrice. Oh, all these characters again. So we have Willard. He's gonna be a main character this time, maybe? Oh, all the witches. The murder of Beatrice. Again? Oh man. Quietly, quietly, the rain fell down. The rain of sadness dripped down all the walls of the chapel, quietly washing away the dust of the world of the living. Chapel doors were open. During a wedding, only those with invitations are allowed inside. However, during a funeral, the doors are open to all who remember the deceased. I remember the chapel being very suspicious. I remember my theories about it. So this must be a funeral. A shadow holding an umbrella approached the chapel. It was Will. Reception desk had been set up at the chapel's entrance. As the shadow approached, Kanon, who had been sitting at the desk, stood up and welcomed him with a bow. So he's just waltzing into the game board, I guess.
こちらが受付でございます。弔問の皆様にはご褒美を賜っております。ご記帳をお願いいたします。
悪いな、弔問じゃねえ、待ち合わせだ。
You came to a funeral to meet someone? A dubious expression rose to Kanon's face. Will pulled an envelope from his pocket and showed him the sender's name.
失礼いたしました。どうぞお入りを。
すまねえな。せめてそいつをもらえるか。
ありがとうございます。きっとお喜びになられると思います。
Kanon handed him one set of the golden roses, which were being handed out to all the mourners. Will took it, silently bowed his head, and entered the chapel. Inside the chapel, several people who appeared to be family of the deceased were gathered, and they all seemed to be recalling memories of the departed. I missed you, King Zog.
Beatrice!
Again, dude. Again, dude. Or you can make a compilation out of this, I
お
think.
父様、どうかしっかり
Oh,
控
Natsuhi,
室の方で少し休みましょう。
Genji. Oh, I'm remembering everyone
私
now.
が殺したのよ。私が。
とんでもない。どうしてローザ様が殺したことになりましょう。
Rosa. Where's Maria?
お父さん、すごい泣きよね。
ベアトリーチェか。
Okay, I missed you, Rudolph. I missed you, Kiri. Oh, man.
絶対お母様が亡くなった時より泣いてるわ。
Oh, here comes best girl, Ava. Okay.
こら、今はそ
Hideyoshi.
んなこと言うときちゃうで。
Some sobbed, unable to conceal their tears, and some spoke softly of old memories. They were all remembering the dead in their own way, it seemed. When Will approached the altar, several people turned round. Of course, none of them knew who Will was. Paying this no mind, Will walked in front of the casket on the altar, which seemed to be buried under golden roses. Inside the casket, there was no corpse. Instead, as though it lay there in place of a body, was a single thick book with an extravagant binding. The space all around it was filled with countless golden roses. There were words printed on the book's cover. To my beloved Beatrice, October 5th, 1986.
ミス・ベアトリーチェ、ミセスだったら許しな。会ったことはねえ。だが、お悔やみ申し上げるぜ。
He took the rose he had received from the reception area and placed it in the casket. He had absolutely no connection to the woman called Beatrice. However, since he had come to visit a funeral, he had to show this minimum amount of respect for the dead. As part of this, Will prayed for the passage of the dead into the next world.
失礼だが、
Oh,
どちら様かな？
oh cross.
私は後宮クラウス。喪主の代行です。こっちは子供のリオン。
はじめまして。後ろ宮リオンです。
Is this Saber? I cannot miss that. Shromia Leon, first child of Cross and Nazi. Jessica is their second child. What? This is given the silver ring of the head successor and will succeed the position of family head upon turning 20. Mild, polite, and without any clear faults except for being too young. This youth is more suitable to become the next head of than any other, and is adored by King Za. Bro, that's Saber's voice actor, I think.
誰だお前。
理科の理に魚するの魚でリオンと読みます。
It's Saber, dude. It's Saber. I cannot miss it. I can't. I recognize it so fast, dude. I can't miss it every time, dude. Will stared at Leon's face, wearing a confused expression. He hadn't seemed particularly interested in Klaus, but Leon apparently has drawn some sort of reaction from him. By that interest, it was Mona that thought he felt something was out of place. Yeah, it's where's Jessica? I thought Jessica was their only kid. Hmm.
奥様がそろそろと。そうか。一同の諸君。ここで賑やかにしては個人もうるさがるだろう。控室の準備が整ったそうだ。場所を変えようではないか。
When Cross called out to everyone, they began to move towards the chapel waiting room.
すまん。リオンはしばしお客様のお相手を頼む。
Wasn't there a baby thrown into the cliffs? Wasn't there a plot point right like that?
私はみんなを控室に案内する。
I think it was Nazi, right? For the child. Or was I don't remember. I think there was a plot point about a child being thrown off the cliffs. It looked like a natural conversation with no awkwardness for either father or child. But I thought it was Shannon, right? It was Shannon.
親子なのか。
そうですが、何か。
後ろ宮クラウスの子供はジェシカのはずだ。
Did they just have a child then? Was it that? Because Nazi couldn't conceive, right? So she got furious that Kinzo pushed. I don't remember, dude.
ジェシカは妹です。お呼びする必要はありますか？
いや、ない。
Apparently some sort of game was already being played right off the bat. Scratching at his hand with an irritated look on his face, Will glanced around.
失礼ですが、あなた様は個人とはどのようなご関係で？
全く何もねえ。迷惑な話さ。
ではあなたはどうしてこの葬儀に？
Since Lion was a fairly mild person, Will's behavior was met with nothing more than a blank expression. A normal person would probably have put a dubious look long before this. Will scratched his head again and yelled angrily at someone other than Leon.
来たぜ。そろそろ顔を出しやがれ。
Oh. Members of the Yoshiromiya family had already followed Cross's instructions and moved to the waiting room. By now, no one could be seen in this cold, vast chapel decorated with gold roses except for Will and Leon. So you've come.
よく来たわね。異端審問官、魔術師狩りのライト。
The girl's voice came suddenly from behind the pair. Oh, it's Bern. Feel the burn. When Leon turned in surprise, a girl had appeared out of nowhere and drifted down the top of the altar. She landed softly on the sacred funeral altar as though it was perfectly normal. crushing the golden roses under her shoes. Of course, Leon didn't know this girl. Just why on earth were all these people unrelated to the funeral popping up one after another? The fact that she appeared out of nowhere doesn't bother you? A new right. She's teleporting. You gotta say that this is suspicious, right?
あなたに頼みたいのよ、この事件を。送った物語は読んでくれたかしら？
斜め読み程度にはな。
あなたがどなたか存じませんが、そこから降りてください。そこは神聖な祭壇ですよ。
Snapping out of daze, Leon told the girl to get down off the altar. She ignored this completely. I don't think your Excalibur is going to do anything about this girl. Oh no. On top of that, Will kept on talking to the girl as though Leon wasn't even there.
Leon とか言ったな。こいつは何者だ？
その子が名乗った通りよ。
She's a girl. Shiromia Leon. There's no case when a person with that name appear in any of the previous games.
お前の駒なのか？
いいえ、このゲーム版の正しく正当な駒、登場人物よ。
ゲームマスターはお前だ。なら、お前の駒だろ。
ベアとの猫箱よりもっと大きな猫箱で閉ざしただけよ。リオンはその中で生まれ得る可能性を持つ一つの駒。
So did Nazi actually have a child? So she was able to conceive then, instead of that the other child before Jessica. I have to review some things afterwards. I guess I need to go over old videos.
結局お前の駒というわけだ。
私が置いた駒という意味では正しいわ。
ただしエリカのような配下の駒ではないということか。
エリカって誰？
Oh no! Oh come on, dude! No! Oh no, dude! Are you serious, dude? No, don't do this to me. Ah! Come on. I don't know if I'm laughing or crying, dude. Ah, come on. Ah, come on, dude.
理解しようとするな。頭痛になら。
I'm already getting a headache. Leon didn't have a clue what they were talking about. However, though neither person was familiar, it seemed clear that they both knew a lot about the Ushiramiya family.
私にはあなたたちが何の話をしているのかわかりません。とにかくそこのお嬢さん、その祭壇から降りてください。後ろ宮家次期当主としてお願い申し上げます。
Successor. Even Leon was finally forced to speak in a raised voice to the girl, who continued to chat while casually standing on the altar. However, the girl ignored this completely. On the other hand, Will did show a reaction.
次期当主はクラウスのはずだ。
父クラウスは私が20歳になるまでの間の当主代行です。
That's already Battler.
20歳になると同時に次期当主である私が当主を継承することになっています。
初耳だ。証拠はあるのか？
It seemed that even Leon was starting to get ticked off by now. That calm expression appeared to twitch slightly.
これは次期当主に許されている片翼のわしの銀の指輪です。これで証拠になりますか？
銀の指輪？金の
Silver ring.
当主の指輪は何度も登場したが、次期当主の銀の指輪など初耳だ。クラウスもジェシカもそんなものを指に通していた記憶がねえ。
嬉しいわ。 斜め読みにしてはちゃんと読んでくれてるじゃない。
魔女のよこす文章はどこにろくでもねえことが書いてあるか分かったもんじゃねえ。ましてやそれが元老院の大魔女とくりゃな。
あなた方は一体何者なんですか？失礼だが私には何の話をしているのかさっぱりわかりません。
I can only hear Saber Man.
個人への喧嘩がお済みでしたらどうぞお引き取りを。どうやらあなた方は当家がおもてなしすべき方々ではないようです。
Leon finally ran out of patience. These were the strictest words that this gentle kid could unleash. However, Will and the girl seem not to care at all. So I think they're hiding the gender, right?
俺も来たくて来たわけじゃねえ。
時間の無駄だから話を進めるわ。
Is Leon a trap, basically what I'm saying?
ライト、このゲームに挑みなさい。ゲームマスターベルンカステルの名においてこのゲームにあなたを招待してあげるわ。
お断りだ。
どうして？
俺はもう引退する身だ。推理もミステリーも知ったことか。
何をして余生を過ごすというの？魔術師狩りのライトが魔女狩りをやめて。
Bernkastel's voice actress is so good as well.
狐狩りでも潮干狩りでもするさ。俺がここに来たのはあんたと余生を語るためじゃねえ。
Bro, you came here. You're done, dude.
断るために来たと。
ご検察いただき光栄の極みと知りたまえ。
Bro, what are you
好
doing?
きにしたらいいわ。どこへでも行けばいい。ただしここから立ち去れればの話だけれど。
それで条件と報酬は？
In truth, Will has resigned from the very beginning. He knew that he was incapable of refusing an invitation for the great lady Bernkastel.
ベアトリーチェを殺したのは誰か。それが私のゲームよ。報酬は私に対するその無礼な口の利き方を許すこととこの礼拝堂を立ち去る権利。
退屈を愛さない魔女は存在な言葉を愛すると聞いたぜ。
それは1000年を生き飽きたババア魔女の話よ。
Oh,
私はまだまだ若いからあんたみたいな言葉遣いの男をどんな過酷な運命に閉じ込めてやろうかと無双することを愛するの。
oh.
それで敵は誰だ？
いないわ。妨害などするわけもない。このゲームをあなたが美しく詰めるところをただ私たちは感激したいだけ。仲間も用意する。それがそのリオンよ。
No sense of agency. After hearing that name spoken out of the blue, Leon frowned once more. Apparently they were moving things along without Leon's knowledge or understanding, which the latter seemed to find truly irritating.
リオンは後ろ宮家の人間。後ろ宮家の誰とも面識のないあなたには心強い味方となってくれるでしょう。
何の話か分かりかねますが事情のわからない話には何もご協力はできかねますよ。
だそうだ。頼もしい限りだな。
私と我が主を楽しませなさい。魔術師狩りのライト。
Talking about Ren.
あうあうは行儀のいい感激者だけれど
Oh wow.
私は退屈するとポップコーンを投げつけたりしちゃうかも。
It's Feather Rain, right? Will scratched at his head with a displeased look on his face. He wasn't at all interested in getting involved. By now he realized that he couldn't disobey Bernkastel's orders. Then he approached the casket, pointing at its rose-filled insides.
ベアトリーチェ殺人事件の依頼とのことだが
Beatrice's murder.
バンダイン20足第7足死体なき事件であることを禁ず。
Van Dyne. Yeah, it was the pen name.
悪魔の証明ね。棺にないだけじゃない。
Oh, the blue truth.
死体が存在しないことをあなたが証明できない限り、これはミステリーよ。
第一足、手がかりすべての揃わぬ事件を禁ず。
安心なさい。すべてはここに揃っている。
Oh, oh, you're done, dude. Though there's no change to Willow's unsatisfied expression, he seemed to have understood the general pattern of this place. The simple fact that mere Inquisitor heresy had been summoned by an uninhibited, fickle, cruel Great Witch of the Senate meant that he'd be treated no more than as a mere underling. All along, he had possessed no way to refuse her.
この空っぽの棺の主を殺したのは誰か。引き受けてやら。ただし、俺の流儀でやらせてもらう。
ご自由に。
まず最初にすることは、お前に現状を理解させることだな。
それをお願いできると、私もとても助かります。
Leon's expressions seemed nonplussed, angry, and confused, all at the same time.
キラ、実際に見た方が早い。
お供しましょうとも。
Will signaled with his shin for Leon to follow him and spun around. After snoring once in an unsatisfied manner, Leon followed him, as though resigned to see Will's little show. As she watched them leave the chapel, Bernkastel sneered silently at them, cold smile on her face.
尊厳なる感激と戯曲と傍観の魔女。フェザリーヌなんとかアウアウローラの巫女にして奇跡の魔女。ベルンカステルの名においてこのゲームの開始を宣言するわ。物語のタイトルは黄金の魔女のレクイエム。ベアとの葬儀にふさわしい物語を紡ぎなさい。さて、どんな腹渡を引きずり出してくれるやら。
Drag out the guts. He watched until the pair had left the chapel. Bernkastel's form evaporated into the empty air, just as she had arrived. All that remained was her unpleasant cackling. Outside it was raining. Oh. Outside it was still raining. When Kanon saw the guest and the successor approaching the reception desk, he bowed deeply.
ご苦労様です。休んで結構ですので、外してもらえますか。
カノンです。かしこまりました。
Oh. Kanon bowed deeply, then disappeared.
下々の名前まではいちいち覚えていないってか。
当家には若い使用人が大勢出入りしており、入れ替わりも頻繁ですので。さて、何をどう理解させてくれるのですか。あなた様は何者で、当家にどのようなご用がおありで。もちろん納得させてくれなくて構いません。このままお帰りいただければいいだけですので。
もう帰れねえのさ。俺も誰もな。
もういい加減にしてくれませんか。そのよくわからない煙に巻くような喋り方は。私にだって我慢の限界というものがあります。私では見送りにならないというなら、源氏と合田にお送りさせてもいいのですよ。
騒ぐな。こいつを見てろ。
見ればわかります。葬儀用のバラです。まさか手品でも見せてくれるおつもりで。
Will took one of the flower offerings, then showed it to Leon, as though pointing out that there were no mechanisms or tricks. Then he slowly lifted it upwards.
見てろ。
ええ、見てますよ。鳩でも飛び出すんですか。それともクラッカーと万国旗にでも。
Will threw the rose. Anyone would have expected it to fly in an arc and land in some puddle. It didn't, which was why Leon had been struck dumb. The rose thrown by Will certainly had flown in an arc. It It should have sped on rapidly through the air. However, as soon as it passed from the shade of the eaves, it was about to reach the rain. It stopped right in midair, as though the air surrounding it had turned into a syrup. That wasn't all. As it hung in midair, the rose's beautiful golden petals began to darken one after another, and it became a black husk like burnt charcoal. And even after this happened, it remained suspended there in the air.
これは何の手品ですか？
動くな。
Leon had moved closer to try and trust the remains of the rose, which still hung in the air. Will had roughly blocked that way with his arm. It was as though he was telling Leon that leaving this place meant certain death.
この礼拝堂がかけらから切り離されたんだ。この礼拝堂は今濃縮された時間の渦に閉じ込められている。
それはどういうことですか？
めんどくせえからはしょる。つまりさっきの魔女のゲームに付き合わねえ限り誰もここから出られねえ。
なんですって？もう葬儀は終わっています。お屋敷やゲストハウスに戻りたい方々もいらっしゃるでしょう。こんなことは困ります。
恨むならあの魔女を恨め。俺も帰れなくていい迷惑だ。
あの少女はあなたの友人でしょ。この変なのをやめさせてください。
あいつは今頃ポップコーンのバケツでも抱いて観客席だろうよ。呼んだって現れね
え。わけがわからない。
That short sentence described all of Leon's feelings at the moment. However, Leon had seen the rose wither in an instant in the rainy darkness. Leon tried doing the same thing with another rose, but the effect was exactly the same. No one would want to use their own body to test this fearsome something that could make roses crumble instantly.
ここから解放される方法はただ一つ。ベルンカステルのゲームに付き合うことだけだ。
ベアトリーチェを殺したのは誰かでしたか？
そいつを調べろと仰せだ。お前がそれを聞かせてくれりゃ話は早い。気まぐれ魔女は大満足。お前は厄介払いができて、俺は帰ってダイアナとデートだ。あまり待たせすぎるとまたソファーをズタボロにしちまうわ。
Diana.
ベアトリーチェを殺したのは誰かなんて葬儀に押しかけて遺族に聞くこととは思えませんね。
Stood a dog.
遺族に聞き込みはミステリーの基本だ。諦めろ。ベアトリーチェってのは当主金蔵の愛人だってのは分かってる。
あなたは本当に不思議な人だ。どうしてそこまで当家のことをご存知なのですか？やはり当家に縁のある方なのでは。
Will knew this much about the Yoshiromiya family because Bernkastel has shown in all the fragments so far. Of course, he had no sort of connection with the Yoshiromiya family himself. The very plane of his existence was on a different level.
しかしベアトリーチェはだいぶ昔に死んでいる。現時の証言では屋敷の竣工前に死んでるってことになってるが、死んだ理由は明らかじゃねえ。正直なところ殺されたってのは初耳だ。聞かせてくれ。
Are being killed.
私の名は後宮リオンとも。
ウィラードだ。ウィルでいい。
The first time Will introduced himself, their mutual introduction was finally complete, and Leon was finally able to talk with him on an even footing. However, Leon took a deep breath and looked up at the sky, wearing a vague smile.
ウィルさん。
ウィルでいい。俺もリオンと呼ぶ。
ウィル、正直なところ私にもベアトリーチェという人物のことがよくわからないのです。
なるほど。一応ゲームにはなるわけか。
Only Leon could have told him everything, revealing the truth without any effort from Will. Apparently things wouldn't be so easy after all.
ベアトリーチェの名と姿を後宮家に出入りするもので知らぬものはないでしょう。
大広間にでかい肖像画が飾ってあるからな。 肖像画の掲示は1984年の4月だ。
本当にあなたはどうしてそんなことまで。
Yeah, that's the sore spot where it was crafted many years later.
やれやれ、それを疑問に思うのももうやめることにします。どうせあなたにまた煙に巻かれるんですからね。
Leon was the successor and lived in the head household. That made the conversations for Kinzo an everyday occurrence. Because of this, Leon must have been used to chatting with people who were moody or hard to follow. With the understanding that getting stuck on the details would be nothing more than a waste of time, the conversation naturally fell into a pattern as though Leon and this unknown man Will were longtime friends.
誰もがベアトリーチェを知っている。なのに誰も知らねえ。会ったことがあるのは当主金蔵だけだ。
当主様は今日は特にお心が不安定でいらっしゃいます。タイミングを見て私が紹介しますので、なるべく慎んだ態度でお願いしますよ、ビルさん。
話が早えな。てっきりもっと非協力的かと思ってたぜ。
長年当主様のお相手をしていると、大抵の理不尽な事態とはある種の諦めを持って接することができるようになりますので。
Yeah, that seems to be a skill necessary for dealing with Kinzo. Bernkastel had set up a barrier cutting the chapel off from the rest of the world. To destroy that, they would need to find out who killed Beatrice. For Leon, who had already experienced many of Kinzo's rantings, understanding this much was more than enough. Rosa's confession. Ushirimiya family members were relaxing here and there around the waiting room. A light buffet-style meal had been set up, but it was a bit stale and not particularly appealing. Even so, those voracious kids seemed to find it intensely interesting. Maria! Oh, Maria. The cousins have set a cabin around it, with Maria at the center. George, George, no. The adult siblings also form a group in a different corner. Perhaps because of Kinzo's absence, everyone seemed to be a little more relaxed.
Leon?
That's he.
どこへ行っていたのですか？そちらの方は。
母さん、お客様のお相手をしていました。ビル、こちらは母の夏日です。
紹介はいらねえ。ただ話を聞かせてくれりゃいい。
え、何かおっしゃいまして？
何も。こちらはビルさん、個人に縁ある方だそうです。
With a smile, Leon casually smoothed over Will's words.
彼はベアトリーチェのことをより詳しく知りたがっています。母さんはベアトリーチェについては何かご存知ですか？
リオン、個人は当主様のかつての恩人です。そしてそれ以上でもそれ以下の関係でもありません。この葬儀は当主様が個人への生前の恩を報いるためのお式。そう聞いていますし、それ以外のことは何もありません。
ありがとう、母さん。ウィル、母が知っていることはこれだけです。
Mother. Natsuki was eager to deny the scandal about Beatrice as being Kinzo's mistress. However, she also had enough sense to realize that this scandal was probably true. Picking up that Natsuki was in a bad mood and didn't want to talk about this anymore, Leon brought an end to that conversation, before Will could say something rude again.
ウィル、この礼拝堂は当家の敷地内です。
当家のルールに従えってか。
当家の客人にふさわしい口調に改めていただく。話はすべて私を返していただく。その2つを守っていただけるようお願いいたします。
努力すら。
ベルンカステルとかいう魔女に巻き込まれて大いに迷惑です。ですから私も協力はします。しかしあなたと私の立場は対等ですので、 それをお忘れになりませんよ。
育ちがいいだけのお坊ちゃんだと思ってたら。
Yeah. Bern referred to Leon as a she, and then you have Will referring to as a he.
なかなか言うな。
これでも
Yeah, the gender is definitely put into question.
覚悟はありますので。
わかった。仲良く事件を解決しようぜ、ワトソン君。
ご協力いただけて嬉しいです。愛病のダイアナを待たせないためにも。
Oh, it's a cat.
餌の時間は大丈夫ですか？
今日は山盛りにしてある。多少は大丈夫だ。よくダイアナが猫のことだと分かったな。
You shouldn't have picked up a cat. Dogs are more loyal. You see this when you see Bernkastel. Oh no.
ソファーを控えて待ちわびる女性というのも少々個性的が過ぎると思いましたので。それでまずは誰に話を？
誰でもいい。全員だ。あそこにいるのはクラウスの兄弟たちか。
向かって右からエヴァおばさん、秀吉おじさん。
Best girl.
あちらがルドルフおじさん、キリエおばさん。
I want more screen time of them, please.
後ろ宮ローザか。
Oh.
少女時代に森をさまよい、隠し館でベアトリーチェと名乗る女に遭遇した経験を持つ。
And then Beatrice fell into the cliffs. Just like the baby it had. Why is everyone falling?
驚くまいとは思っていますが、本当にあなたは何でも知っている。
お前もその話は知っているのか？
今
Oh.
日彼女がそう話しているのを漏れ聞きました。辛そうな話でしたので聞こえないふりをしましたが。
優等生だな。紹介してくれ。話を聞きたい。
辛そうな話でしたので聞こえないふりをした優等生の私に。
Even this outrageous arrogance is nothing compared to Kinzo. After muttering this several times mentally, Leon shrugged and nodded at Will.
あら、次期当主様じゃない。
Ooh, Ava doesn't like that.
そちらの方は？
ああ、エヴァおばさん、こちらはウィルさん。個人のために献花に訪れてくれました。
I can just imagine her head as she imagines 10 million ways to kill Leon right now.
んなことはどうでもいい。ベアトリーチェについて知って。
個人と後宮家の関わりについてお話を聞きたいと言っています。
Leon spoke with a bright smile after pinching Will's butt. What? Will silently protested as though saying, I saw that coming, but damn that hurt. Leon just played dumb and smiled at Ava like a model student.
後宮家との関わりって言ってもね。
Oh, give me the.
後宮家とちゅうよりお父さんとの関わりっちゅうべきやろな。
正直に言えばいいのさ。親父の愛人ってな。
愛人なんて言うとまた夏日姉さんに怒られるわよ。恩人でしょ。
そうやな。
こんな具合ですが。
ローザ以外には興味ね。
Again?
ローザおばさんは確かベアトリーチェに会ったことがあると。
This whole time, Rosa had been hanging her head. Leon's words made her shoulders quiver.
今日になって急に言い出したのよ。ちょっと信じがたい話だわ。本当なのよ。ベアトリーチェは私が殺したの。
事件解決だな。
早計です。
Rosa broke down crying and laid her head on the table. Kyrie and Hideyoshi tried to console her.
ロッケン島はうっそうとした森に包まれてる。私たちが知っているのはそのうちのごくわずか。屋敷とバラ庭園、そして船着き場に向かうちょっとした林道だけ。
誰も知らない広大な森のどこかに親父が隠れ屋敷を作って愛人を住まわせてるんじゃないかって話は相当の昔からあったんだ。
ローザさんは多分その隠れ屋敷に偶然たどり着いてしまったっちゅうんやろな。
しかしどうしてローザおばさんはベアトリーチェを殺したなどと。
私が連れ出さなければ彼女は死なずに済んだわ。彼女は無垢なひよこのような人だったわ。私が連れ出したから素直についてきた。何も疑わずに私の後をぴったりついてきて、私があんな足場の悪いところを歩かせてしまったから。
お前は崖から足を踏み外すことを期待してそこを歩かせたのか。
The music.
そんなつもりはなかった。ただ海が見たいと思って。歩きづらそうだったから下に降りれば少しは楽になるかなと思って。
それは殺したとは言わねえ。事故だ。
私が連れ出さなければ合わなかった事故よ。私のせいなの。それに私は血まみれの彼女を見捨てて逃げ帰ってしまった。
あんたのせいじゃねえ。ベアトリーチェは海を一度も見たことがなかった。それをあんたが初めて見せたんだ。つい浮かれて一歩踏み外しちまったんだろ
どうしてあなたはそれを。
ベアトリーチェはあんたに感謝こそすれ恨んでるわけもね
え。そうかしら。本当にそうなのかしら。
柵の外の世界へ出たいと懇願したのは彼女だろう。お前はその夢を束の間だけ叶えたんだ。俺がベアトリーチェならその束の間の時間をお前に感謝するだろうよ。なのにお前がいつまでも苦しんでると知ったら申し訳なく思うだろう。ベアトリーチェはお前に感謝してる。海が青いってことを教えてくれたあんたをな。
それは本当に。
俺が保証する。
Will made that statement openly and boldly. It wasn't clear how Rosa took those words. However, it apparently had been enough to remind Rosa to take a handkerchief out of her pocket and wipe her tears with it.
ありがとう。
その言葉はベアトリーチェが今もあんたにささやいてる。
But
ありがとう。
is it the witch Beatrice or the second Beatrice or the third Beatrice or the first Beatrice? Oh my god. Rosa wiped her eyes with a handkerchief one more time and hung her head. No longer looked like a figure of sobbing, but more as though she was speaking with the Beatrice of that day within her heart one last time.
よくもそんな無責任な言葉を堂々とかけられるものです。
責任がなけりゃ女を慰めることもできねえのか。
多少は見直しました。
How many years did it torment Rosa? No, now finally, she'll probably be able to face that innocent, smiling Beatrice who had seen devotion for the first time in her life. She was the only one who could forgive Rosa. Now the two of them could finally speak together.
どなたか存じないけれど、ありがとう。彼女は私を許してくれるかしら。
あんたは20年近くもそれを悩んだ。長すぎだ。彼女はもう勘弁しろと言ってだ。
そうですよ、ローザおばさん。あなたが悲しめば悲しむほどきっとベアドリーチェも悲しむでしょう。
あなたまでありがとう。私には私が許されるかどうかわからないけれど、彼女が許してくれるかどうか胸の中で問いかけてみることにするわ。二人ともありがとう。恥ずかしいところを見せてごめんなさい。
Maybe the second Beatrice might have forgiven you, but I don't think that the third Beatrice will forgive you for what you did. Maybe. I don't know.
綺麗事を言った舌の根も乾かねえうちで恐縮だ。
Guess that's the reason why you suffered enough in the first few episodes a lot.
聞かせてほしい、当時のことを。
ウィルさん、
ありがとう。大丈夫よ。話すわ。誰にも話さずにずっと隠してきたことが私の一番の罪なのかもしれないから。
お前がベアトリーチェに出会ったのは正確にはいつ頃なのか。
Upon hearing this question, Rosa closed her eyes slightly, reaching out back to the past that she didn't want to remember.
20年ほど昔の話よ。
20 years. 19 years. Shannon is 16. Kanon started working. All sums up to
20
9.
いえ、19年前か18年前かもしれない。
It lines up.
ごめんなさい。長いこと無理に忘れようとしてきたものだから、そこは少し忘れかけてるわ。
1967年のことのはずだ。
Ronova had guaranteed that with the red truth in the third game.
そうね。多分1967年頃だわ。あの時の出来事は写真のように鮮明に覚えてる。忘れられないの。
辛かったら無理に話す必要はありませんので。
写真のように鮮明に頼む。
Again.
痛えぞリオン。
So that's the stick.
何のことやら。
家庭教師が私の内緒話を母に告げ口していたのにショックを受けて、あの日私は自暴自棄になって森の奥へ奥へどこまでもかけていったの。
This tale has all been told in the previous fragment. When Rosa was just a kid, she went deep into the forest, found a hidden mansion, and met with a mysterious woman who called herself Beatrice.
ほんの少し分け入ることすら難しいあの深い森を。
自分でも驚くわ。あんなうっそうとした森をよくもあんなに深くまで。たくさんの梢や鋭い葉っぱで苛まれた。でもあの日の私は気にしなかった。森の奥へ消えることで永遠に消えてしまいたかったし、もし本当に森の奥に魔女の館があったなら、自分を幸せの国へ連れて行ってくれるか、カエルにでも変えて森の住人に変えてくれると思っていたから。
そしてあんたは隠し屋敷クアドリアンにたどり着き、そこでベアトリーチェと名乗る女と出会う。
ええ、あったわ。
そのベアトリーチェは肖像画のベアトリーチェと同一人物だったか。
ええ、同一人物だったわ。美しい青い瞳、黄金の髪、黒いドレス、まさにあの肖像画通りの人物だった。私はあの肖像画をお父様が掲げた時、私が忘れようとあがいた20年の月日はお父様にとっても同じ、あるいはそれ以上の日々であったと気づき、さらなる罪に怯えたわ。
それ本当にローザさんの出会ったベアトリーチェのことなのかしら。
Immediately, Kyrie spoke the question that Will had been thinking of. We too rushed to assume that Beatrice Kinzo met and the one Rosa met, the same person. Time and generation didn't match up.
ベアトリーチェってのは戦後すぐの頃、親父に黄金を貸し付けた勇敢マダムのはずだぜ。
Because I think there's 3 generations of her.
お父さんはベアトリーチェの黄金を元手に後ろ宮家を復興して大金持ちになり、そしてロッケン島を買い取り移住するんや。ローザさんが出会ったのはそれから10年以上も先の話になるで。
10トンの黄金を自在にできるご婦人が小娘程度のわけはない。ましてやローザが会った頃にはそれからさらに10年以上が経過してる。ローザ、あんたの会ったベアトリーチェはいくつくらいに見えたのよ。
当時の私よりは年上に見えたけれど、それでも多分成人したかどうかという年に見えたわ。 そうまさに肖像画のベアトリーチェくらいの年齢よ。
中年あるいは壮年に見えたか？
大人か子供かって言われたら明らかに子供に近い年齢だったわ。中年なんてとんでもない。
だからそれじゃおかしいのよ。あんたの会ったベアトリーチェとお父様に黄金を与えたベアトリーチェ、年齢が合わないのよ。
つまり別人ということだ。
よく似た同じ名前の別人。
娘かもしれんな。親子ならよく似とったに違いない。
愛人の娘、ありえるわ。黄金を授けたベアトリーチェとの間にお父さんは隠し子を設けたとか。
それがローザの出会ったベアトリーチェ2世ってわけか。年齢的辻褄は合うな。
なるほど。つまりベアトリーチェと呼ばれる人物は
Since the characters are talking about it, then I am inclined to say that it's false now. I hate when characters discuss my own theories against me, because I think no, it's it's the author trying to make a confusing statement and just trying to mislead everyone. Kinzo secretly raises Mr.'s second child, Mistress's child, in a hidden mansion. It made sense. Everyone nodded, agreeing. However, Will's expression was slightly unsatisfied, and he scratched at his head.
どうやらこの葬儀は隠したがゆえに弔うことができなかった二人のベアトリーチェのためのようですね。
ローザ、思い出したくねえだろうが、事故の時の話を頼む。ベアトリーチェが転落した時、まだ息はあったのか？
いいえ、目を大きく見開いていた。頭から真っ逆さまに落ちて、岩浜の岩の鋭い角に頭をぶつけて、それもあの高さから。頭部は陥没して裂けてたわ。美しい黄金の髪がみるみるうちに赤黒く溢れる血に染められて。
一目見て死んだと確信できる外傷だったのか？
ええ、割れた頭の中身を見たわ。それも握り拳次第に陥没して。あれを見て生きててほしいなんて、いくらなんでも虫が良すぎるわ。
ウィル、それ以上聞く必要はありますか？
事故じゃもういい。それからあんたはどうした？
一目散に駆け出したわ。誰かを呼びに行くためなんて綺麗事でさえない。その場から一刻も早く逃げ出したかったの。錯乱状態になりながら、涙と荒い息でめちゃくちゃになりながら、でたらめにどこも。そしたらいつの間にか見知ったライオンの彫像に出くわしたわ。
Lion statue.
礼拝堂の前の？
いいえ、
Chapel.
裏のよ。とにかく
The one
私は
behind
屋敷
it.
に帰り着いた。誰にも話せない。話したくない。私は夜まで黙っていたわ。ひどい話よ。急いで誰かに話し、救急箱を持って戻っていたら彼女を助けられたかもしれないのに。
頭蓋骨陥没を救急箱の何で救えたってんだ。お前が殺したわけじゃない。もう気にするな。
それでローザおばさんはどうしたんですか？
ベッドで何度も寝返りを打ったわ。眠れなかった。深夜にこっそり源氏さんに電話して打ち明けたわ。
Oh. Oh.
源氏は何と言った？
自分に全て任せ、誰にもこのことは言わないようにと。
Oh. Oh.
後日きっとお父様に呼び出されてひどく叱られるだろうと。でもそれ源氏さんはいつものようにしずしずと仕事をする日々。お父様は相変わらずの書斎ごもりで何もわからない。
少なくとも私たちの耳には入らなかったわ。
源氏さんがうまく処理してくれたんだろうな。
表沙汰にできない子だったでしょうからね。
隠し子っちゅうたって血を分けた子供や。その葬式もまともにあげられんかったんなら そらお父さんも心苦しかったやろな。
それがこの葬儀というわけですね。
それから？
私が知っている話はこれで全てよ。
俺が知っている話もそれで全てだ。
これ以上私は何も隠していない。全て話した。誓うわ。
Will scratched at his head, letting his gaze wander. It had taken Rosa a lot of determination to make this confession. It was nothing particularly special for Will. It had apparently been little more than a review of information he already knew.
ありがとう、ローザおばさん。十分ですか、ウィル。これで話は。
十分だ。おさらいになった。
To Will, Rosa's memories gave only information that was already known. This was the first time he heard all about her running back to the mansion after Beatrice fell to her death. None of it was particularly surprising. She called Genji, that's the important part, I think. What happened with Genji then? What did Genji do to the body? Apparently, Rosa didn't know any more about this, more than this. If you want to learn more than what was in the fragments Bernkastel gave him, you need to find a new testimony.
金蔵に俺が話を聞きたがってると伝えろ。
金蔵。
本人に聞かなきゃ話は進まね
え。あなたはどちらへ？
頭を冷やして整理する。ついてくんな。
それは失礼。どうぞごゆっくり。
After giving an elegant bow, Leon made a face, tongue sticking out. Unless Will had eyes on the back of his head, he couldn't have seen the last bit. Will returned to the chapel by himself. The cold air and the monotonous sound of the rain were comforting.
どう？ゲームは。
Oh. And he had come here for a little peace and quiet. As soon as he let out a sigh of relief, that voice rang out.
それは俺が聞くことだ。
It was as though she was been sitting there all along. Bernkastel appeared on the top of the altar once more. Beatrice's altar must have been extremely comfortable.
バトラは無能で、私を何度もイラつかせたわ。それに比べ、あなたは有能だから見ていて安心できるわ。
後ろ宮バトラの時と違い、誰の妨害もね、気楽なもんさ。
もうそういうゲームは終わったの。
I noted that Jessica and Battler weren't there. Was Jessica there? I don't remember.
物語は二度楽しめるが、一度目はめでて、二度目は腹を引き裂いてね。
First you love them, then you tear out their guts.
俺を肉屋だと思ってやがる。
どう？ベアトリーチェ殺しの犯人はわかりそう？
ローザの告白は過去のかけらですでに知ってる。真新しい情報はない。進展はゼロだ。後ろ宮金蔵が本当のことを喋らねえ限り、これ以上の展開はね。まさか俺が金蔵を口説き落として真相を告白させるってのもゲームに含まれてるとは言い出さねえだろうな。
そんなの退屈で死んでしまうわ。真実を語らぬ金蔵は、それ自体が城に守られたキングだけれど、あなたのゲームの障壁になってしまっては面白くない。
At this point, King's How the hell did you revive King's? Come on, dude. I don't. Wasn't he like stated to be dead in game 5 or something? I guess you can just place him as a piece again.
俺の流儀だ。
わかってる。ゲームマスターとしてあんたに力を与えるわ。金蔵から真実を得られるようにね。
Oh, that's easy. That easy then. Still wearing shoes, Bernkastel stepped in the casket, picked up one of the flowers that had been set as offerings, and blew hard, as though scattering fluff from a dandelion. Then a single petal broke off and drifted down towards Will. No longer gold, but with the shine of a transparent crystal.
探偵権限か。
何その間抜けな能力。違うわ。
Oh, come on! Erika, come on!
それは観覧席への招待状よ。
感激者権限か。それを元老院の許可なく与えることは禁じられてるはず。
I am the Senate.
私を私のゲーム版で誰が禁止すると？
You see, Will, you don't know this, but I am the Senate. The crystal flower petal danced in the wind. It wouldn't fly away until Will accepted it. No matter how useless it was to argue with witches, and snatched it up. When he did, the petal flashed brightly for an instant, melted into Will's palm, and disappeared.
せいぜい私を楽しませなさい。ついでにあなたも楽しむといい。このベアトリーチェのゲーム版の腹渡がどうなってるか。あんたも興味があるでしょ？
ねえよ。
After Will's rude answer, Bernkastel vanished into thin air, leaving behind an obnoxious laugh. After clicking his tongue, Will turned around unhappily. When he did, it felt as though his gaze had crossed that of a shadow standing right in front of him, next to the door that led outside.
誰だ？
失礼しました。
Oh,
声が聞こえたので、どちら様かと思いまして。
so Shannon's here.
今度はお前が受付をしているのか。
はい。カノン君と交代で受付を担当させていただいております。
Taking turns, huh? Taking turns.
カノンは
先ほど、リオン様に休みを取るようご命令を賜りましたので、今は休んでおります。
Oh?
お前もリオンに面識がないのか。
いえ、そんな。
後宮リオンは銀の指輪を許された次期当主だ。10年を務めたお前が名前を言いよどむのはおかしい。
それは。
Leon is a game piece in a wider game board. A possibility to appear. And he's he or she. They are they're the child of Cross and Nazi.
安心しな。リオンに面識がねえのは俺。次期当主はクラウスのはず。子供もジェシカだけのはずだ。
Yeah.
リオンなんてやつが後宮家にいたかけらなんて一つもなかったはず。
She realized that Will didn't recognize Leon either. Shannon relaxed, and she was a bit relieved to find that she wasn't going crazy by herself. However, her expression quickly grew uncertain once more.
ここはどこなんでしょう。後宮家の礼拝堂と思います。でもどことなく雰囲気が違います。それにリオン様という方がおられたなんて私全然知りませんでした。なのに旦那様も奥様も親方様もお嬢様も親類の皆様も当たり前のようにお話をされています。何が何だか私わからなくて。
リオンはベルンカステルが置いた駒だ。奴を置くためにさらに大きな猫箱に変えたとも言っていた。それだけでなく、どうもここはいくつかのかけらが継ぎはぎして作られたまともじゃない世界らしい。
It's as though there's a special stage set up specifically for this game. I'm sure she's nodding at my thoughts right now, laughing and chomping down popcorn.
この世界のお前は何年ここに勤めている
10年です。
I see. So it really is a special stage. After all, right when I entered the chapel, I spotted Kinzo. Since Shannon has been working here for 10 years, this world takes place in 1986, the stage of Beato's game. Oh, he died 1 year earlier, didn't he? In that case, Kinzo shouldn't exist. He definitely was here a few minutes ago. Bernkastel promised that all the information needed for reasoning was gathered here. She must have been really packed together to fit everything in. I see, so it really is a special stage.
お前はそれだけの長い間後ろ宮家に仕えてたならベアトリーチェのことをどれだけ知っている
Most things, I think.
親方様が深く愛された方くらいにしか
Why you lying? Why you're always lying?
それだけか
あとそのロッケン島の夜の主と言われていて
そうだ夜な夜な屋敷を徘徊するとささやかれる亡霊の名もまたベアトリーチェだ
That brings the number of Beatrices to 3. First is the Beatrice from more than 30 years ago, who is said to have given Kinzo the gold. Second is the Beatrice from 20 years ago who met Rosa. The third is the Beatrice of the ghost stories, who is rumored to be the master of the night on Rokkenjima. Oh, it's all coming together, I think, maybe.
フルドエリカの推理は正しいだろう。もともとロッケン島に存在した悪霊の伝説、そこに金蔵のオカルト趣味と謎の女。ベアトリーチェの名前や肖像が、碑文が次第に加味されていき、黄金の魔女伝説に統合された。そして夜の闇が魔女という人格を得た。それが3人目のベアトリーチェだ。それが連続殺人犯のベールとなる。
Apparently she didn't understand a word of Will's sudden monologue. Shannon tried to follow along, but she seemed to have been having difficulty.
無理に理解するな。頭痛になら。
申し訳ございません。
カノンもリオンのことを知らないのか。
はい、カノン君も私と同じでした。
Canon is me. Shannon and Canon, is it?
カノンも呼んで二人に話が聞きたい。
Oh, when Will said those words, Shannon's face went blank, her eyes wide.
申し訳ございません。受付を開けることは許されておりませんので、私には呼びに行くことができません。
No music.
誰か代わりを呼んできて受付を変わらせる。あんたとカノンと俺。
He's already here.
リオンを知らない3人で一緒に話がしたい。
受付は一人でいいと仰せつかっております。
2人いちゃいけねえとは言われてねえはずだ。
本日は人手が足りませんので、受付に2人も不要と仰せです。
誰がそう命じた？金蔵か？クラウスか？それともリオンか？確認する。
私の命令権者です。
No. Oh, the one who orders me.
私は命令に逆らえません。
Oh, it's going. Oh, get GTFO, man. GTFO. The whole situation went foobar. Let's get out of here.
その命令権者は誰だ？そいつに交渉する。
交渉などできません。私たちの命令権者です。
ここへカノンを呼べ。
Don't. Oh God! Don't do this. Oh shit!
俺は拷問も感激も綺麗だ。
Slowly, Will pulled his right hand out of his pocket. When he slowly opened his fist, a small, bright glow emanated from it. The flower petal given to him by Bernkastel had become a glowing, sparkling mark on his hand. He held that hand towards Shannon and slowly approached her.
カノンを呼べ。お前たちに確かめたいことがある。
お呼びできません。それでもなお、それをご希望ですか？
呼ばねえなら、お前を感激する。
どうしてもとおっしゃるのでしたら、特別にお呼びすることもできますが。
Oh, come on. Oh, dude. Oh, no. Oh. There was some kind of incomprehensible tension between the two. Will stood there, his left hand still in his pocket, and his right palm glowing and stretched out towards her. Shannon just stood there, her hands folded politely in front of her. Her posture beautiful. Yet it felt oddly as though wind-set drops of rain were sparkling and crackling in midair.
カノン君を呼んでまいりますが、よろしいですか？
No, I don't. Will's expression had remained unchanged the whole time. Shannon's face was kind and still kind and gentle, yet the tension was as icy as a frozen lake. Beginners in chess will sometimes move their king into check without noticing it. I might mercilessly capture the king in this situation. High-level players are supposed to calmly tell their opponent about their mistake. If you take one more step, you'll get captured. This was similar to that. I see. So after all...
もう分かった。十分だ。二人で交代で受付を頼む。
Slowly, Will lowered his hand.
ご理解いただけまして助かります。
The glow slowly vanished from Will's palm. A completely incomprehensible tension melted away, like a sugar cube in water. However, nothing changed since the very beginning. Will's expression and Shannon's expression were the same as they always has been.
おや、お帰りですか？
Footsteps approached them. It was Leon.
立ち話をしていただけだ。こいつに聞きたかったことがあった。
それは何でしょう。そしてそれは得られましたか？
ああ。
お役に立てて光栄です。それは残念。傘をお探しのようでしたらすぐにでもご用意させましたのに。
金蔵に話はついたのか？
珍しい客人が挨拶をしたがっていると伝えました。お会いするそうです。
ベアトリーチェのことを聞きたいとは伝えたのか？
それはあなたの仕事でしょ？
With a slightly mischievous look, Leon turned away. Will scratched his head and shrugged, looking annoyed.
まあいいさ。こいつを試すだけの話だ。
Will opened his right hand and showed it to Leon. It was just a hand without anything remotely remarkable about it. Leon's head tilted to the side in bafflement at this strange gesture.
ご苦労様です。君の名前は確かシャノンです。そうだった。シャノンでしたね。引き続き受付をよろしく頼みます。
My head is...
肩を冷やさないように。ありがとうございます、リオン様。
Shannon bowed deeply in response to Leon's kind words. There was not even a trace of tension in her manner.
ビル、せっかく時間をいただけたのです。当主様の機嫌は秋の空より変わりやすいですよ。いってらっしゃいませ。
行くか。
I don't know what to think about this. It's messing with my mind. Okay. I think we'll end here.
ウィラードさんをお連れしました。
Oh. Battler. Jessica. Romeo Leon, the first child of Cross and Nazi. Jessica is their second child. Was given the ring, silver ring of the head successor. Will succeed the position of family head on turn 20. 19 years ago. 10, 20 years ago. 18 years ago. 20. When he will, when they will turn into. He's a trap, right? Or I don't know. The gender is still unconfirmed, I guess. Mild, polite, and well clear faults, except for being too young. His youth is more suitable to become the next head than any other, and is adored by King Zo. Willard Huntington Wright, member of the SSVD, the 8th District Repentance Enforcement Agency of the Great Court of Heaven. Inquisitor, ranked Archbishop, first class. Oh, this... Was that the same thing as Dolanor? Goes by the name of Wright of the 20 Wedges, or Wizard Running Wright. Was an ace inquisitor in his youth and was feared for being both ruthless and merciless in his work. However, at some point there was a change in his work attitude. His previous flashy escapades became a thing of the past. His Kanon style is often fickle, alternating between laziness and obsessive bursts of energy regarding mere trifles. By now, everyone has given up on trying to understand him. He has already submitted his resignation and had it been accepted. Only a few days remain before he will lose the name of Wright. The Witch of Miracles and Miko, the Witch of Theatergoing. 7th game. She conducts Beato's funeral. With defeat in the previous game and came out the loser, she has proclaimed that she will tear out the guts of Beato's game to satisfy her irritation. And yet... I'm liking both characters. I think Leon is pretty great, I think. But they feel more like self-inserts as of now than... Like, yeah, kind of like what Erika did in the 5th game, right? When she just appeared and was celebrated. Like, yeah. This guy just came out of a vampire hunting novel. Then there's Leon. Yeah, I like them. I like them. Especially Leon because she has the voice of Saber. And so I'm partial to that. Yeah, so thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time on this episode 7.